In the temporarily occupied territory of the Kherson region, the occupation authorities developed a mobilization plan and began issuing summonses, reports the Center for National Resistance.
Military registration and enlistment offices work on the basis of data that residents provided during the so-called elections and the distribution of food packages. At the same time, in the Donetsk region, 100 summonses were handed out during the elections. Also, military registration and enlistment offices are actively collecting data on persons born in 2006, with an eye to mobilization in 2024, from the website of the Center for National Resistance.
As a result of forced passportization, hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians in the territories temporarily occupied by Russia have already received Russian documents, and the pressure on those who have not yet done this will increase, experts say. After all, the Russian occupation authorities are trying to send as much cannon fodder to the front line as possible.
In the last wave, the authorities recruited a significant part of the people in the national republics, in Tuva, in Buryatia, in other regions, in the Caucasus, in Dagestan, for example. But there is a problem that in Buryatia a large number of those mobilized returned back in coffins. Therefore, it will be more difficult to recruit people there in the second wave. Therefore, the Kremlin will have to look for some other resources.
The Kremlin has simplified the procedure for obtaining a Russian passport as much as possible. If previously residents of territories occupied by Russia had to go to the Rostov region to obtain a document, now it is enough, for example, to get sick. Mobile centers for the provision of administrative services are installed directly in hospitals. Without a Federation passport, people are denied treatment. Those who do not agree to receive Russian citizenship are deprived of access to insulin and humanitarian aid. They are threatened with deportation. A passport and summons are often included. Moscow plans to recruit another 420,000 contract troops by the end of the year, according to a British intelligence report.
Now there is an autumn conscription. It is still unclear to what extent they will be able to meet these control figures. The Kremlin understands perfectly well the large-scale mobilization is one of the few things that can collapse the internal situation in Russia. It is clear that contemporary polls cannot be trusted, but according to these polls, support for war in Russian society is constantly falling.
According to the information from the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, in order to stay at the front, the Russian occupiers are transporting prisoners from temporarily occupied territories, from Luhansk to Melitopol. Reported by Roman Smoler, Victoria Smirnova, UATV News.